Brazil, one of the founders of the Indigenous Ayahuasca Conference, that we have worked on for the last decade, trying to understand the impacts of globalization within our communities and the spreading of our medicines. First of all, I'd like to thank the medicines, the sacred medicines, the water, sacred water, the sacred territory that gave birth to so many beautiful cultures. All the nations of animals and plants and people, as we are, all related. We are medicine together. I'd like to thank our grandfathers and grandmothers that led their experience and their guidance so we could learn and keep learning with our medicines to have a good life, learn how to take care of our health, eat well, rest, work, be happy, because happiness is an exercise. Thank the guidance of the grandfathers to recognize the illness that we can also hide in our hearts and our minds, and learn to recognize the illusions that are also appear in our society, so we can learn to walk in the truth that is the respect of life, of nature, with humbleness, without leaving no mark, no trash behind us. That is the dignity and the freedom of Indigenous peoples that defend in our territories more than 80% of biodiversity in this planet. We gathered with all the diversity of our nations, more than 120 indigenous nations that held ayahuasca in their origins. We do not own ayahuasca, but we are born from that medicine. We belong to it. It's our mother, it's our teacher, it's sacred for us. In the same way that is sacred to all relatives around. And we share 500 years and so of trying to dialogue with respect and equality with the Western nations. Now the time has come to find some space to talk to the scientists, the religions, the institutions, and explain that we also do have science. Hundreds and thousands of years of practice and research. And our science, it has our ethics, and that we must take care, because a spirit can't be fabricated in a laboratory. That is why, joined and reunited with the indigenous organizations of our countries, we are preparing the World Ayahuasca Forum to debate and make this exercise of trying a fair dialogue, an alliance, where we could, all of us, work together in a real movement, in the culture of protecting life. So we invite you all to join and support Indigenous peoples. We thank very much this space, this opportunity. You help us to understand what is going outside of our territories, but we need you to understand what is happening inside. The effect, the impact, and the responsibility we both share. Do not harm. And then we will be able to harvest this great garden that is the Amazon forest and that is everywhere, the spirit of life. And we can practice the exercise of joy and friendship to take care of the next generations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daiara. Tokia, tukashla wakanta ka wopla wakelo, nukuta ku wakan, ampetu umaste unkupi, wo yawaste ota unkupi, ocha wopla wakelo. I wanted to say thank you to all that is sacred, our life and all medicines. I wanted to say thank you to PS2025 and MAPS, and the planning team and the numerous relatives and friends in this space. Indigenous Medicine Conservation Fund, Indigenous Peyote Conservation Initiative, all my indigenous nations throughout the world that are fighting for Mother Earth, clean air and clean water. Last but not least, my parents, my grandparents, for this beautiful life and the many teachings in the University of the Universe. I would like to share a song, a prayer song in remembrance of our grandparents. And all that we do, we remember our teachings, our sacred teachings that they bestowed upon us. And it's no different in this generation now. And more importantly, now to remember what your grandparents stood for. So as we offer this song, Remember Your Grandparents, because many of our grandparents have shed their blood for this nation here. So please put that in your mind as we go forward. And as you go forward, remember, are you honoring your grandparents in everything that you do? Would your grandmother be proud of what you're doing now? Now is the time. So please join me in this meditative thought and song. All my relations. I hope.